Arg! Ahoy there, matey! Welcome aboard the world of boating.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
I was just looking into buying a boat of my own.
Call World of Boating toll-free now at 1-888-88-28-BOAT. That's 1-888-828-BOAT.
And welcome. This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate, Captain Patrick Barry, the boater, Mike the Mariner, running at the crew as we navigate the latest boating news and information on this very frigid Saturday. I mean, it is like, the entire United States seems like it's under a blizzard warning or something. It's ridiculous. It's way too cold. Even in Florida, where we're based out of, we're having like freeze warnings. Tonight.
Yeah, we're having ice flows on the St. Johns River.
Oh, really? Are you? Yeah. So you're having to dodge icebergs, Mike.
Well,
is that the deal?
Water freezes at 55 degrees in Florida. Everybody knows that. It's science.
Well, okay. That's
iceberg dead ahead, Captain.
That's right. Yeah.
No, that's just somebody dumped their cooler in the St. Johns River again, Mike.
That's king of the world.
Those are ice cubes.
Right.
Yeah.
So, it is a bit on the chilly side today. So I figured, we have to talk a little bit about the weather. Don't we, Patrick? Being boaters, you got to be aware of what's going on. And when you get, especially, in Florida, we're not used to getting these frigid temperatures. Should you take some special precautions to protect your vessel out on the water today or tonight? Do you need to do anything special? Nothing?
No.
Nothing at all.
Everything situation normal.
Situation normal.
If you have antifreeze in your cooling system.
Yeah, I can't believe that's correct. That doesn't seem right. That seems very wrong to me. I mean, what about you, Mike? Are you doing anything to avoid those ice flows?
Yeah, just staying in the marina. It's pretty windy also. So
right.
No, I mean, you don't have to do anything because, even if the weather gets down into the 20s, we're in a house, you might be worried about freezing pipes and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
The water is still relatively warm. So the
water,
boat's interior is actually
the water acts as an insulator for boats that are in the water. So the body of water that the boats are sitting in is not going to drop as quickly as the ambient air temperature.
Okay, but if you have your boat out of the water, I mean, do you need maybe take some special precautions, make certain nothing freezes in the lines or anything, or no?
Now you get into at what temperature does water freeze and how long does it take it to freeze? It's got to be a prolonged period of time for that water to solidify.
Yeah.
So if you were in an area and your boat was out of the water and you were concerned, you would, if you have a water system on board, you would drain the water system complete, which means every device, make sure that water's run out. Then you're going to put in a product such as Freeze Ban, which is a potable antifreeze, if you will, into the system. And again, you want to run your water pressure system, open up every device, not just to where the liquid comes out of the spout, but it gets into the drain systems as well, down into the shower sump pump boxes, down to the bilge pumps, things like that. So it has made its way into every crook and cranny, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're concerned about your engine block, and if it's one that you maybe it's not like the new Volvo Penta's got the easy drain system, which is just the best thing ever, because it's literally one valve that you pull a pin on and twist, and it drains the block.
Wow.
They unveiled that quite a few years ago. It's super awesome, even for the closed cooling systems. They're all set up with easy drain because closed cooling, you've got the internal block, you still have the external passages, the raw water pump, those hoses, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it drains all that with one twist of a knob. Amazing. But if you had some concerns there, find an appropriate heater that is designed for engine rooms in boats. Do not do the old, I'm going to take a safety light light bulb deal and stick it down in the bilge of my 22-foot, bow rider that's sitting on the side of my house. That's not smart because those products aren't ignition protected. Fumes could still gather, and you could wind up in a bad situation.
Barry, what say you?
Well, I was going to say is most light bulbs nowadays are LEDs. They don't put out enough heat to heat up anything anyhow.
Not talking. Well, you've got.
Well,
that,
you're talking about the old incandescent bulbs, right?
Well, I'm not just talking about. Yeah, I'm talking about the heat that those put off, but also talking about the electrical device as a whole that you're putting in the engine room. With an extension cord and plug in. That is not ignition protected. So is that prone? I'm not talking about the heat from the bulb being put off, or that it creates enough heat to warm the engine room. It's more, don't do it because the electrical device that you're using isn't designed to be put in a closed space like that may have gas vapors present. So if you're going to do it, find a device that is specific for a boat engine room. They are out there, but people do what they're going to do.
Right.
Yep.
Now, let's say Barry's boat, the Surprise 17-foot Triumph.
He's an outboard. He's got nothing to worry about.
Okay, even if it was out on the driveway, if he had, some water lines in there, or do you have anything like that you'd be concerned with at all, Barry? If it was outside your garage?
No, the only
you wouldn't want to cover it up like a plant to keep the frozen iguanas from falling into it and stuff out of the trees?
Well, if I catch frozen iguanas, I'm going to dispose of them properly.
Oh, how are you going to do that? Because
you can't do
that.
To your house and put them in your backyard.
You can't do that. They're freezing in South Florida in the trees and falling out of the trees, and then as soon as it warms up, the sun comes out. They reanimate. It's alive.
No. You put them in the cooler with some ice, and then you bring them up to Greg's house, and you drop them off in the backyard when he's sleeping.
Why you? Yeah, it's a thing though, isn't it? I mean,
yes,
but you're not concerned about any liquids in your outboard. There's nothing you got to deal with in that regard.
The only chemicals that are in my outboard are oils.
Yeah.
Lower drive oil and the oil for the cylinder.
And of course, if it was outside and you did get a hard freeze, it makes scraping up Greg's last spewing much easier.
It comes off in sheets.
That's right.
You chip it off. Yeah.
True. Chunks, I think
Chunks,
is the
it is.
proper term. But, okay. So other than the freezing iguanas, that'd be the only reason to maybe cover up your vessel if it was outside in South Florida over the weekend here. There's really no
with all the
concern.
wind, we've had a lot of leaves and debris blowing around.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
No, not leaves. Not in my boat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Close
you don't want
the
that.
schools.
As soon as they get inside there, they're just going to rot. There's no way you're going to get them. There's so many nooks and crannies, as you call it, down in that bilge that you just got to wait for them to rot and turn into mush.
Right. Okay. So if your boat is in the water, you're good. If it's out of the water, just use some common sense. Maybe cover it up to keep the frozen iguanas from falling into your vessel, along with the leaves and that kind of thing. And you should be okay. Any other considerations for this cold weather that we should take into account other than just stay warm, Patrick?
Well, I've got a question. I've got a question
Mike,
for Barry.
go ahead. What?
How do you prepare iguana? What's the best way to prepare them?
There are people down here that eat them.
It's a tail
from the
thing.
islands.
They eat a tail. The tail of the iguana, don't they?
No, there's not enough tail on there.
Well, I don't know.
I got a feeling they roast them up just like chicken.
Yeah, they probably taste like them.
They may, or more like gator. I don't know. Gator tail's great.
I don't know what the rules are on these iguanas because they're like evasive species. So is it like open season? If you have one, you're can do whatever you want?
Well, you're allowed to hunt them, and you have to put them down. What did they say?
Humanely.
Because for a while, when people got the green light to go ahead and hunt them down, you saw them out there with their rifles and stuff shooting them, and Tallahassee said, maybe that's not a great idea. Have people with rifles going out and shooting iguanas.
Well, there's that.
Well, why not? It's pretty much what they got now. When they legalized it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, but
with air rifles
but it really is true that they're freezing, and then they reanimate. They come back to life. It's freaky.
Well,
I've seen this.
They're just they hibernate. They fall asleep and
they're stiff as a board. You thought they're frozen stiff. You think like they're totally gone, and then the sun comes out, and you're like people are throwing them out by the garbage, and they just reanimate. Hey, what the heck?
If only that happened with humans as well. Oh, wait a minute, it does.
They're what is it? Cryologically?
Cryogenic.
Yeah,
cold
preserved.
Yeah.
Cryogenically preserved.
Which, by the way, there was a news story. You could have your head frozen for about $80,000, Greg.
I did that.
You did. Mike did that already. Okay.
that
All
on-
right.
That
That explains a lot. I mean, Mike has an excuse now. I don't know what it says for the rest of the crew.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Now they
know
can do
you've
your
been
whole body
wondering.
for $200K, do your
Yeah.
head for $80,000 in the hopes of
that's a
bringing
lot
you
of money.
back.
Why don't you just go outside overnight here in Florida or anywhere else in the U.S. and you can do it for, pretty much free. Just go out there naked. You'll be cryogenically preserved,
Naked.
at least for a weekend. All right. More coming up on the World of Boating.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
Hosting a radio show about scuba diving and boating is one of the best gigs on the planet. It's actually part of my job to check out and report on cool new products I personally use to enhance my diving and boating adventures. However, I do believe in sharing the joy, and this is why we've added Nanook protective hard cases to our list of products you can now purchase on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Nanook cases are designed to protect the most sensitive equipment in the harshest environments. Underwater photographers, listen up. From their high-impact NK7 resin to their exclusive Power Claw latches, Nanook has raised the bar for those of you that demand the best protection for your gear. Plus, Nanook protective cases cost less than similar products currently on the market. The company has been around for over 15 years, but it's new to the U.S., so we've made a small number of Nanook cases available exclusively for you at a special introductory price on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Go there now and check out Nanook, the evolution of protection.
Be an explorer in the other 2/3 of your world. Be the buddy who takes the kids in the aquarium instead of just to it. Be adventurous. Be amazed. Be a diver.
Even Keatley wasn't ready for me, or anything that followed. Chased by a police department, led by his ex-girlfriend, and hunted by brain fork-wielding Fijian assassins, it's everything he can do to keep from getting locked up, killed, or worse. Kava Screw is available as an ebook for $2.99 at Amazon.com. Kava Screw. Put a brain fork in him. He's done.
You have successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the World of Boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
Sun, the sea air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
We now return to Night Boat, the crime-solving boat.
Faster, Night Boat. We've got to catch those starfish poachers.
You don't have to yell, Michael. I'm all around you. Oh no, they're headed for land.
We'll never catch them now.
Incorrect. Look, a canal.
Oh, Night Boat, go!
Oh, every week there's a canal. Or an inlet. Or a fjord.
Quiet! I will not hear another word against the boat.
I was young, I was dry, but to sail I would go. 1 hour on the water, I was soaked down below. Though I tried, I couldn't hide from my mother's piercing view. But all she would say was, a big boy like you. Wet before, wet behind, we're the members of the Wet Pants Club.
Getting a little pissed here.
Wet before, wet behind, we're the members of the Wet Pants Club.
You better do something about that because if you've been listening to the World of Boating, you could wake up and your drawers could be frozen solid first thing in the morning if you didn't dry them out there after sitting on your boat and getting a little damp down there by your nether regions. All right, I am Greg, your first mate, Captain Patrick, Mike the Mariner, Barry the boater rounding out the crew, and we're sharing a few tips on how to navigate the cold weather gripping the country this week. All right, maybe we've covered it enough. Other than, Just hunker down if it's way too cold. If you're up, if you're out north, all the lakes and everything are frozen anyway, so you've already done that, I guess. But this is kind of a novel thing for us Florida boaters, Mike, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, winterizing a boat for me is making sure the cooler is full and there's food on board.
That's right. It's not far from a hurricane party when we get these rare freezes like this. But what else do we got to navigate today, Patrick? What's on the list? Anything? Maybe nothing. Hello, Patrick. Come in, Patrick. Patrick is frozen. He's frozen solid.
How's that?
Yeah, well, it's worse because you switched your mic again, but I guess we can hear you, so that's better than nothing.
All right, how's that?
Okay, that's better. Now, what else do we got to navigate, Patrick? What's going on?
So we're not going to talk about the thing that Barry was talking about pre-show that you asked us to talk about. So we'll move in.
Which is what? Will you please share with the rest of the class?
You had to say something.
He had to.
Well, because I'm just pointing out that how ridiculous it is that we have pre-show conversations, and Greg is like, "Wait, talk about that during the show. Let's open with that." We did absolutely nothing but talk about the thing that Barry and I were talking about that you asked us to hold off on, and then you're like, "What else do we have?"
I think that just calls for a little break here. Hold on.
So we finally came right out and said it, yeah.
What kind of place is this?
That didn't take long.
You okay, Patrick?
We see it online.
Patrick!
Would you say that he's been wasting our time?
This trophy's for you!
Captain Patrick's pissed again.
Patrick!
I think he's pissed again.
Patrick!
Uh-huh.
Don't do that!
Oh, he's pissed again. Uh-huh. I think he's pissed again. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious. Now you have your own song for that.
That was really loud.
That's good. You're welcome.
Now I understand. Now I understand completely. So Barry and I were having a conversation pre-show.
Mm-hmm.
You asked us to hold up. We'll talk about it in the first segment. We'll lead off with it. We didn't because your Machiavellian plan was to get me riled up to where you could play this new song that you've been itching to debut for the last year and a half.
You okay, Patrick?
We see it online.
Patrick!
Would you say that he's been wasting our time?
This trophy's for you!
Captain Patrick's pissed again.
Patrick!
I think he's pissed again.
Patrick!
Uh-huh.
Don't do that!
Okay.
Oh, he's pissed again.
I think we get the idea.
Uh-huh.
Right.
I think he's pissed again.
I think you got it right there, Patrick. I'll give you that much. You're welcome.
Took him 15 years to come up with a dig at me.
Yeah.
Actually,
Barry loves it.
He must have had nothing to do this week.
Yeah. Well, it was cold outside.
It was cold outside.
It's cold in your heart.
Anyway, so if that doesn't belabor the fact that we should just move on. What else do we have to cover today, Patrick?
Okay, so we know we've got the upcoming Miami International Boat Show. Congratulations, Barry, on getting your media credentials. You are now a recognized member of a nationally syndicated, world-renowned, highly respected, until Greg played that song, radio show. So good job.
Do you want me to play it again? Really?
No.
Okay.
No,
Just checking.
And we've got boat shows across the country are actually kicking off as well. Not as big as Miami International Boat Show, of course, and the weather not certainly as nice. But there was a boat show here in Florida that was scheduled for March 11th through 14th. And if you know anything about boat shows, you know they don't get scheduled at the last minute unless you live up in Jacksonville where Rusty is, because if it's just a slow day or it's a Sunday when the Jaguars are playing in town, they're going to have a boat show.
Okay.
So the 2022 Punta Gorda boat show has been canceled. Anybody want to guess why? Now, I'm not asking you to guess. I'm asking first, would you like to guess why? And if the preponderance is like, no, we don't want to guess, just tell us, I'll tell you. But if you want to guess, take a shot.
Let's go with the latter.
Guess.
We only got so much time.
No.
Yeah.
There's no ladders involved with this story, Greg.
No, I was already on the ladder today.
Okay. So the space that the event was to take place, the boat show, was sold.
Oh, well, that created an issue.
Yeah.
Well,
I thought you were going to say it burned down.
no, but you would think that, okay, we're locked in. We got this contract. We're good to go. Hey, by the way, we sold the venue. All contracts are canceled. I'd be a little upset.
I would say that's grounds for a lawsuit.
Something you would think.
Yeah.
So they're trying to create a new event and festival site in Punta Gorda. And if you're familiar with Punta Gorda, space is kind of at a premium, as it is in most places in Florida, especially when you're closer to the water. So it looks like 2022 is off the calendar, and they'll have to defer to the 2023, where they will not have any boats to have on display because manufacturers can't make them fast enough. So you're really not missing anything.
Okay.
But yeah, they sold the event space right out from under them, and then said, "Oh, by the way, can't have your boat show."
Yeah, and for the record, Punta Gorda means fat eater. I failed Spanish. I'm just saying. I that was my best guess. Nothing, really, nothing at all. You guys have you're not going to question my
no, we're gonna
translation.
Let you sit there.
Okay.
Just going to let
All
that one hang out there, Greg.
Yeah.
So,
fine. That's fine.
well, there's other cities that have names like Boca Raton. You know what that means, right?
Mouth of the rat.
No, what does it mean,
Mouth
Mike?
of the rat.
Mouth
of the rat.
Mouth of the rat? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Greg.
See, we're a plethora of Spanish translations today. Fat eater, Punta Gorda. That's just a guess, and we'll go with it. More coming up on the World of Boating.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
Traffic sucks, unless you're scuba diving with Mike Scott.
Mike glanced down at his dive computer. It showed less than 50 psi left in his tank. Probably just a few more breaths.
Or riding shotgun in a thrilling car chase.
One bullet hit the Jeep's windshield, spiderwebbing the passenger side. Mike shifted into second gear and felt the Jeep leap forward. This just got serious.
Escape your commute with audiobooks from author Eric Douglas. Download to your phone. Go to booksbyeric.com or audible.com.
Be an explorer in the other 2/3 of your world. Be the buddy who takes the kids in the aquarium instead of just to it. Be adventurous. Be amazed. Be a diver.
Imagine traveling twice as fast as you can drive. Imagine taking friends and family snorkeling, surfing, skiing, shopping, and more to exotic destinations. Imagine attending business meetings in cities far away and still making it home at night. Or just imagine exploring the wild blue yonder. Quit dreaming about it and get to it. There has never been a better time to become a private pilot, and Flight Training Professionals in Orlando will show you how. Flight Training Professionals in Orlando is your full-service flight school. A state-of-the-art flight simulator, a fleet of the latest Cessna aircraft, and a staff of full-time seasoned flight instructors are just a few of the many reasons Flight Training Professionals in Orlando is the place to start your aviation adventure. Call 407-896-0077. That's 407-896-0077. Or go to ftpros.com. That's ftpros.com.
This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate, Captain Patrick, Barry the boater, Mike the Mariner rounded out the crew. Down there by the mouth of the rat. No, he's actually in Sanford.
Yeah,
he's
Punta
not Boca
Gorda
Raton.
is Fat Point.
Fat
Point.
Eater.
Fat Point or Fat Tip.
Okay. All right. I don't know. I think my translation was better. And I went to Spanish school in college.
You went to Spanish school?
I went to Spanish school in college. Flunked out after 2 years.
In Espanol.
Yeah.
See, Greg.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, so
Donde
they
es
They're not going to have a Punta Gorda boat show in 2022, but it is rescheduled for 23, unless they can come up with another event to fill the hole. Is that what you're saying?
Unless they sell the parking lot for the Kmart, it'll take place. I'm sure somewhere. You would think with all the pop-up events that you would just you could just have like a pop-up boat show. Wouldn't that be cool?
Oh yeah,
just like a bunch of dealers get together.
Like a flash mob boat show.
Yeah, we're just going to have a boat show this weekend.
Okay,
there is a lot of floating docks over at the Miami Marine Stadium. They could probably ship up there now.
Don't think that's going to work out too well for those.
Put it on the
folks.
Peace River.
Yeah, okay. I mean, if you just do an impromptu convoy through some kind of chain, who's going to stop them?
It could be the biggest float up ever.
Just started as like a social media shout out. Hey, yeah, we're going to have a boat show. Come on out. The next thing you know, you got thousands of boaters. You just got to come up with a cause. It'll trigger them. You know what I mean?
Easy. Free beer.
There you go. Harry, the boater comes through. That's all you got to do. Get on social media, offer up free beer for any boater that joins our boat show. Right.
And if you want to know who would stop this boat convoy, that would be the one and only Sheriff Lyle Wallace.
Why? Not a big fan of free beer?
You have no sense of Hollywood history, Greg.
Oh, boy. What, are you just making some obscure Hollywood movie reference? Is that what you were doing
it's not
there?
Obscure. Everybody knows the movie
What,
Convoy.
Dukes of Hazzard? What is it? I don't know. Yeah.
Convoy.
Convoy. Yeah, no, that's not a obscure movie reference. Not at all. More coming up on World of Boating.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
Welcome aboard. I will be your captain. You'll be my scallywags. I don't know what that means, but you will be them. And here's how we play.
Thank you for your attention and welcome aboard.
Let's go.
This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate, Captain Patrick Barry, the boater, Mike the Mariner, rounded out the crew. All right, so boat show season is underway. We got the Miami Boat Show, February 15th. I know this only because they start this the day after Valentine's Day. Pretty much every year it seems like it's like that.
Does that coincide with the Super Bowl this year?
I don't know. Does it? I thought that was earlier. I thought the Super Bowl was earlier than. It's not the same week as the boat show, is it? Nah.
Yeah, that would be
it could be. I guess it could be. Yeah, it could be because it's out in L.A. this year.
February 13th. So the Sunday before.
Okay. Well, there you go. Then it's not.
No,
so
but
at least they don't have that.
It is when everybody's
conflict.
setting up the show.
Yeah, but you can listen to it or watch it on your phone while you're,
Yeah, that's what employers want to
bolts.
have you doing, Greg, when you're supposed to be working, setting up the boat show is
That's right.
watching the Super Bowl on the phone.
Yeah. And then during the show, people are looking at all the cool boats and then they notice gosh, this one seems to be sinking. Why is this one lower than the other ones? Oh, that was Patrick. He was watching the Super Bowl during setup. And look at that. He forgot to close the hole in the bilge pump and whoa.
Wait. I forgot to do what?
He got it almost right. Almost right.
Well, he had a
Did
hole.
Did he say I forgot to close a hole?
Close a hole.
Yeah. Close the drain plug.
Do you just say random words and hope they get
Yeah, hole and boat. It's
transom, bow, starboard.
Okay. Anyway, moving on.
It's like a dual overhead valve with a boom cutter.
Exactly. Right. See, Mike speaks my language. And it's not even Spanish. How about that?
It's amazing you can tie your shoes.
Okay.
That's all.
I wear slip-ons. Anyway.
Exactly. And you still get that wrong.
Okay, just move on. What else do we got to navigate through as far as the latest boating news and information?
So, by now everybody's familiar with joystick controls.
Big fan. Yep.
Yes and no. I've said my piece about that type of technology on previous shows. That they have their pluses, they have their minuses. I think that they're a great aid to have, but I think you still need to know how to maneuver your boat without the use of a joystick, just in case. Plus, it's a great skill to have, to be able to practice. So Mercury announced they have introduced joystick piloting for single outboard pontoons.
Unbelievable.
I know. And wait till you hear how this thing operates. So the way that this works is it's got basically what looks like two trolling motors that deploy. And then with the use of the joystick, they'll position those drop-down thrusters. I call them trolling motors because that's really what they look like. And in conjunction with the outboard engine, will maneuver that boat with the joystick control.
So these come out the side towards the bow of the pontoon boat, or towards
they're like bow thrusters, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
hold.
Okay.
One at a time.
Yes.
And Greg, you're not allowed to speak.
Really?
So
really?
No, don't start. No, there we go.
So they are let's say on a standard pontoon up towards the bow.
Right.
They're mounted to the underside of the deck of the platform.
Oh,
okay. And it's basically they tuck away, they drop down electronically, and then you would engage them. And then when you're done, they would raise back up and stow away.
Oh, so you got two sets of motors to go bad. One to raise and lower them, and then one for the motors themselves. All right.
I'm flabbergasted. I can't believe someone would need joystick control for a pontoon boat.
Well, they've had joystick control for single outboards for about the past, I want to say almost 2 years. And I questioned, what at that point, why wouldn't you just either learn how to maneuver your boat without the use of, that type of device, or get a bow thruster? The thing that you have to remember about these type of units, when we get into these drop-down units or the joystick piloting, it's a much larger battery draw on the system. So with the newer boats, what we've seen happen is, coming out of the manufacturing plants, not every boat goes out with batteries. Some dealers want to install their own. And there's a minimum size. At this point, it's probably about a group 27, although I'd say really group 31 is where you want to be at, and probably a dual purpose battery at that. But the more that you use these devices, the bigger the drain, the draw on that battery system. And then for boats that are set up with ACRs, automatic charging relays, which kind of take the place, they direct the charge back to the batteries. But if your batteries drop below 9.5 volts, it's going to lock that ACR out and won't allow your batteries to achieve full charge again. Then you wind up with customers that are calling because their batteries have gone dead, or they get so dependent upon this joystick that they think it's the greatest thing in the world, and they're going through the marina with it. Look, my boat goes sideways. Look, I can spin it around.
Give me a charging slalom course. I can do it. Yes.
Well, your charging system's not going to keep up with that unless you really take it for a ride.
Yes. It's something that you have to bear in mind is there's a draw. And again, the engine's running while you're using these. But again, it's such a huge shot on a lot of boat manufacturers. They dedicate one battery and one battery alone to, say, like a bow thruster, just because they know the draw, if it's tied into the house battery system or the cranking battery system, there's such a draw that even the engines have got the tolerance is so small now to where if it sees an electrical drop below a certain level because of electronic steering, the ECMs, fuel injection, all that, it then sends a fault, and then you get a warning on your go. You could lose loss of steering. It really is important to realize how these units work, and they're not meant to drive the boat, which we have more and more customers, more and more boaters out there that do that without. There's people, especially if you're in a low coastal area, that you can't get your outdrive down or drop your outboard engine down enough to get underway. They're using the bow thrusters to maneuver the boat to get out into deeper water, and by then your batteries are drawn down so far, engine won't start.
So I was just so an electrical steering system. If that fails, that's it. Your engine's not turning. What about with hydraulic systems? If they fail, there's absolutely, how on a car, if your power steering pump failed, you would still be able to turn, the wheels, at least on older cars.
If you are strictly hydraulic, not a moving cable. If you're strictly hydraulic or electronic, you're done.
Oh boy.
Okay. But Mercury, who's put out this system, I mean, they feel comfortable enough to do this.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, if it's new, and again, if we've said it before, if you can make docking a boat fun and enjoyable, you take probably the biggest impediment to people getting into boating. You take that out of the equation.
Yep.
Because even getting away from a dock, people are, for the most part, they can get in, they can turn the key, they can get underway. People push them off from the dock. They get their boat hook. They push themselves away, what have you.
They know how to play a video game and can grab a joystick and go. Yeah.
Coming in at the end of the day when everybody's hot and tired and the dock is full and the ramp is full and boats are trying to get into their slips. When you can just at the touch of a joystick, bring your boat in like a champ, it takes all the fear and worry and the stress out of that. Not only are you saving countless marriages and or relationships, but you're keeping your boat from getting damaged.
Right. Yeah. So that's good.
So it is good. I just think, I think Mike may kind of be along this line as well, and Barry, that we get a little too dependent upon it, and really on a single engine application. Yeah, pontoon boats they've got a bit of freeboard there. It's kind of like a good type of sail on the water. The hulls, you've got two pontoons or you've got a tri-toon. They really don't move laterally very well.
Right.
But
no, actually laterally, there's so little there's so little depth that with the height of in the pontoon boats with their, as you said, they act as a sail, so they'll go sideways with the slightest wind sometimes. Well,
yeah, and you don't want that to happen when you're trying to dock sometimes. So you got to be aware of it. All right, more coming up on the World of Boating.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
Do you have a message or product you need to share with the boating world? Well, look no further than the World of Boating radio show. Just like you, thousands of boating enthusiasts are hearing this message, and we could be talking about you and your product or service as early as next Saturday. Remember, a terrible thing happens when you don't advertise. Nothing. Go to worldofboating.com, send us an email, and let's get to work to make your marketing message matter.
Traffic sucks, unless you're scuba diving with Mike Scott.
Mike glanced down at his dive computer. It showed less than 50 psi left in his tank. Probably just a few more breaths.
Or riding shotgun in a thrilling car chase.
One bullet hit the Jeep's windshield, spiderwebbing the passenger side. Mike shifted into second gear and felt the Jeep leap forward. This just got serious.
Escape your commute with audiobooks from author Eric Douglas. Download to your phone. Go to booksbyeric.com or audible.com.
Hosting a radio show about scuba diving and boating is one of the best gigs on the planet. It's actually part of my job to check out and report on cool new products I personally use to enhance my diving and boating adventures. However, I do believe in sharing the joy, and this is why we've added Nanook protective hard cases to our list of products you can now purchase on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Nanook cases are designed to protect the most sensitive equipment in the harshest environments. Underwater photographers, listen up. From their high-impact NK K7 resin to their exclusive Power Claw latches, Nanook has raised the bar for those of you that demand the best protection for your gear. Plus, Nanook protective cases cost less than similar products currently on the market. The company has been around for over 15 years, but it's new to the U.S., so we've made a small number of Nanook cases available exclusively for you at a special introductory price on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Go there now and check out Nanook, the evolution of protection.
You have successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the world of boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
The sun, the sea air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
We walk up to this huge yacht. Nick's standing there all sexy.
Ladies.
Ahoy.
Ahoy. Check this place out.
I've been on a boat bigger than this. We go boating a lot in Florida. I'm a boater. I'm experienced. And I look great on a yacht.
Hey, boy with the boater, look at what you did. You made my heart go like a motor, and I'd like to take you out. Maybe give me a shout sometime.
This is the world of boating. Greg, your first mate. Captain Patrick, Barry, the boater, Mike the Mariner, rounding out the crew. Okay, joystick controls on your boat. They're becoming more mainstream. I think they're the future, even though Patrick seems to think it's going to dumb down boating and just create more problems than it's worth. But I don't know. I don't think we're going to avoid it. It's the kids coming up today. This is what they're used to. They want something easy, something similar to playing an Xbox or something, and so the manufacturers are stepping up.
When I do deliveries and training, okay.
Yeah,
joystick is there. The
joystick is your friend.
This is how you're going to use it. But I also teach how to maneuver the boat using the twin binnacle, because if that unit ever fails, you're going to want to know how to maneuver this boat. And I teach and ask customers that, look, every time that you go out, it should be an opportunity for you to practice a skill. Whether it's navigation, whether it's boat handling. If you're not, if you're just going out and setting the autopilot and, away you go and you're having cocktails, it's kind of a missed opportunity. You should always be taking that opportunity to brush up on a skill or learn something new about your boat, whether it be maneuverability, systems operation, things along that line.
That's just being a good, responsible boater.
Well, yeah. What happens if you're out on someone else's boat and they don't have that technology? They have the older.
Don't forget the oar.
Oar, yeah.
Yeah, well, bring an oar with you.
Seriously, if you had to fill in for someone, if you were on Mike's boat and something happened to him, he had a bad shrimp or something, and he was tossing his cookies over the side, and you had to take the helm.
We're screwed. I think
not going to happen. Mike's boat is set up with biometric eye scan.
Oh, okay.
And you would actually have to take his passed out body and get his head up towards the eye scanner in order for it to recognize and let you take control.
Well, at least we know what to do. There you go.
And he's kidding, because this boat is basically World War II technology. There's none of that advanced stuff.
The best technology about.
Okay. Yeah. Patrick's thought about this way too much. Sounds like to me.
No, I was trying to keep people from going and hopping on Mike's boat and steal it. But, all right, Mike.
Yeah, he has all the latest tech. Right. Okay.
No, my boat's got World War II technology. Come on board.
Yeah.
Well, it's got modern navigation and autopilot and all that stuff. But, from a mechanical standpoint and, from a control standpoint, it's got, split controls for the gears and the throttles. And, it's basically, you basically drive it like it's a World War II destroyer, basically.
He's old school, and that's fine.
Well, remember, the electronics, he has to let the tubes warm up for 30 seconds before it's ready to go.
I don't think that's accurate. But,
hey, Greg, moving on to some news that will excite you, because it has to do with cruise ships and reality TV.
All right, let's go.
A cruise ship that was supposed to dock in Miami has instead sailed to the Bahamas.
Yes.
Why?
Because it was being repossessed. I saw that story.
No, it was not being repossessed.
It was they
they didn't pay their fuel bill.
Yeah,
they did not pay their fuel bill, a $4 million fuel bill.
All right.
They had a warrant for its arrest.
I don't feel so bad now. $4 million for fuel? I thought,
Yeah, right. You
I
thought
went
you had a
fuel
gas
2 weeks ago,
guzzler.
and I thought, I'm like, I was, just shaking my head over $620 and $4 million?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're having this whole bankruptcy issue.
This was the Crystal Symphony, which was also the name of a girl I dated in high school.
Yeah.
Currently, her parents were, that hippie generation. It's currently docked in Bimini, and some passengers were taken by surprise, and they said, "We all feel we were abducted by luxurious pirates."
Okay.
Sure.
There's somebody who has no idea what goes on in the world of pirates, because pirates and pirating is not luxurious.
Actually, they got off pretty easy, because all they got off in Bimini and then took the fast ferry back to the States. So they got them home without much incident. There was another cruise ship story, however, where one of their sister ships, same company, they were on like a 35-day cruise, and I think a week or 10 days into it, and they just dropped him off in, I don't know, where was it? Cozumel or some port, and said, see ya. Wouldn't want to be ya, but we're not going anywhere. You got to get off the boat now. We're not doing the whole 35 days. See ya. And they dropped him off in Aruba. That's what it was.
Oh, wow.
So at least it was a nice port.
Yeah.
You're going to spend 10 days on the boat and then another 20 or whatever you prefer to do there in Aruba. So,
how about just pay your fuel bill?
Well, there's that, but that's just bad management. They're obviously
how do you hey, all right, sir. So we got you all fueled up. That'll be $4 million. Is that cash or charge? I'll just put it on my tab.
Right.
Yeah. No. You're not leaving. Do not untie that boat.
Yeah.
Until you pay your fuel bill.
Yeah.
I don't understand how that happened.
This wasn't one of the more mainstream cruise ships. It's Genting. It's casinos that own this cruise line, I believe. And so there's some interesting, financial backings
I guess the slots
caught up
were
to
too
them.
loose on
Yeah,
that
something was wrong.
Hey, Mike, how long could you run your boat on $4 million worth of fuel, Mike?
We'd see him
at least until next Thursday, I think.
Well, okay. I was going to give him a year or two, but maybe that's being generous. All right, well, we'll wrap it up with that. Till next time, remember, whether it's sail or motor,
life is better as a boater.
Safe boating, everyone.
You barnacle-bitten swab.
World of Boating is brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
Any of this getting through to you, son?
World of Boating is a production of Overboard Entertainment Incorporated.
Computer standing by.
Remember, you can listen live or to archives of past shows worldwide over the internet at worldofboating.com.
Computers can do that?
So tell a friend and come aboard every week for the World of Boating.
This is so great. I can't wait. I'm getting goosebumps. Feel me.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
TTFN, ta-ta for now.
The opinions you just heard on the World of Boating are those of the hosts, callers, and guests. They are not necessarily those of any station or network, its management, or advertisers.
What are you being such a weenie for?
While on the water, your safety and the safety of many others depends on you. So boat smart and operate your vessel only after receiving the proper training and instruction for your area.
There is a fine line between genius and madness.
Have any questions or comments? Feel free to do so via the web at worldofboating.com.